This reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report, man. Live from the cut. I'm off the set today, you know what I'm saying? But still gotta get y'all this news real quick, you know what I mean? But make sure you check out just everything we got going on. Subscribe to the channel, you know, and definitely follow the social media platforms. Now, you have Germany, France, Italy, Spain, becoming the newest countries that actually suspend the administration of the administering of the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine. Now this is actually after there have been reports of blood clots coming to people who've taken the vaccine. So there's so far you have Denmark, which is where the reports had initiated from, where some people had came out with blood clots and actually one person died. But then you also have so as a result you have Denmark, the Netherlands, Ireland, Thailand, Norway. You have Venezuela. A lot of these countries are actually the Democratic Republic of Congo all joined in suspending the administering of the vaccine, the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine. So with this being done, it's sending like waves of shock and fear. Millions of people have gotten this vaccine so far. It's actually a big part of the United Nations COVAX program, like this vaccine program where they trying to make sure that like countries with low GDP actually get access to the vaccines, not get beat out by all the first world countries and all of that. Now, so to speak, you know what I mean? But with you have from the World Health Organization, they're actually saying that there's no evidence that there really being any link between the two yet. Like, you know what I mean? There's more investigation that needs to be going on. You had a director there, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. She was saying how, you basically have 2.6 million people that have died from COVID-19, right? And then 300 million people who've actually gotten, I won't say people, but 300 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine that's been given out. Even though it's been like a bunch of others, different vaccines. That's the total number of doses that have been estimated to give out so far. And then you have and there's not having been one report of somebody dying from it yet. So like just we're gonna look into it, but don't panic yet. Like, it's not the time for that. So we'll see how this turns out. Like over in Europe, it's crazy that this is happening now, because it's happening while you have COVID-19 numbers actually spiking, with Italy actually having a national lockdown, and then you have France, where they have up the measures after there's been increases in hospitalizations. So we'll see how this all turns out though. But like, millions of people gotten this AstraZeneca vaccine, y'all. You know what I mean? And honestly, if you scared about it now, then you probably shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Green War and Graduation though. Reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News reporting live from the motherfucking cut. But still gotta let y'all know what's up. But we got 56,000 new COVID-19 cases actually recorded on Monday, with 741 deaths due to COVID-19. Now, those numbers are low compared to the peaks we saw in January, but they still looking kind of similar to the numbers that we were seeing during the summertime, you know what I mean? And that's pre another peak or whatever. So you're talking about what is understood is that the TSA, they actually reported that this past Friday there was more people that had traveled through the airports than at any other day since the start of the pandemic in the US. So very interesting numbers. We'll see how this all turns out. But everybody gotta do they part, do what's right for them, you know what I'm saying? And niggas might want to just calm down, you know what I mean, before niggas get trapped up into doing some dumb shit, like, I don't know, taking a vaccine just so they could go to a baseball game or some shit. Like, y'all motherfuckers kind of fucked down, man, and lay low, man. Green War and Graduation. News reporter of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Make sure you check out my mixtape too, @still_I_grind on Instagram. Now, I'm gonna give y'all this news though. So in California, 440 workers for Tesla had actually tested positive for COVID-19 between the times of May and December of 2020, according to public health data that's been released. So it's ill because around this time, In the Bay Area, Elon Musk refused to close down the plant that was over there, talking about how public health measures were fascist and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Remember he was talking that, like, at this, but he went against a order from the Bay Area, or a mandate that they had out for that to close. So he went against orders to hold that open, and 440 people ended up testing positive for COVID-19. Might be why there was even a situation in the first place. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are we talking about here, people? This is a man that just passed Jeff Bezos as being the richest man in the world, and it's reported by the Washington Post that $360 billion was made by the U.S.'s wealthiest billionaires during the pandemic. So it's like, damn, my nigga, y'all not losing. Like, like, hold on. You know what I mean? Can you do that? Like, really? I don't know. People's on some different type of times. We'll see, though. Green, war, and graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So the Senate has actually confirmed Deb Haaland as being the Secretary of the Interior. This is actually making her the first Native American to actually hold a cabinet position. Now, ain't that some racist shit? But you know, I mean, I know I said that before, but goddamn, like, it's just still crazy. But you know what I mean, so be it. You know, salute to Deb Haaland. This is a former U.S. rep for New Mexico. She actually is of a tribal citizen of the Laguna Pueblo. You know, so you know, just 4 Republicans voted for her because she's also known for going against fracking, being against the Keystone XL pipeline, and other like fossil fuel projects or whatever. She also got the 2020 Nuclear Free Future Award for actually being helping address the uranium mining that was going. Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So you have the Federal Emergency Management Agency that's actually going to be handling the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas, Texas, to hold unaccompanied teens that have been trying to cross the U.S.-Mexico border into the United States. These are asylum seekers, essentially, but they're not with their parents, and it'll hold through up to 3,000. Keep in mind, this past February, over 9,000 children and teens were apprehended by U.S. Border Patrol, just from people trying to get into the country without any parents, you know what I'm saying, or any guardianship. So, you know, they're apparently going to hold them in this convention center for up to 90 days. So this is one of the latest detention centers that the Biden administration has opened. So we'll see how this ends up playing. Green, war, and graduation. Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Now, Congressmember Ilhan Omar is actually leading a few Congress members to actually have demands against the Biden administration that they actually end contracts that are between ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, or whatever, you know, basically the immigration jail, them and their local, in the contracts between ICE and the local jails and state prisons and all of that. So you have actually 24 members of Congress all signing on to this letter that was sent to the Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and White House Domestic Policy Council Director Susan Rice, and basically saying, and it brings up how Biden actually signed an executive order for racial justice that basically said it was going to end the private prison usage by the Justice Department, but which would affect 9% of the prison population. But it has made no mention of dealing with any of the contracts that have to deal with, you know, the ICE and these immigration jails or whatever, which actually account for most of the ICE detainees. So, you know, we'll see how this all turns out, man. You know, something like this getting passed could be a major step towards immigration. I mean, without it, it makes clear incentive for there to be like a way for America to just jail everybody who they deem fit that's trying to come into the country or whatever, and for Americans to not even care about it, so they continue paying taxes and supporting the shit, you know what I mean, without like knowing about it, basically, you know what I mean. And that's privilege for you, but that's a whole nother story. But y'all stay woke though. Green, war, and graduation. Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Now, everybody know about the insurrection that took place on January 6th at the Capitol, at the U.S. Capitol in D.C. Now, federal agents have actually arrested 2 people involved in that Capitol riot. You have George Tanios of West Virginia and a Julian Cater of Pennsylvania. Now, these men were actually filmed assaulting Capitol Police officers, but they were officially charged with assaulting Brian Sicknick, who was actually an officer who ended up dying the next day from injuries sustained from that assault or whatever. And so they were charged with assaulting him as assaulting other officers with chemical spray. And so you have at the same time, it's crazy because you have federal prosecutors involved in that talking about how one of the participants of it was a New Jersey Army Reserve, and he actually maintained his military clearance even though he was found to have been at the motherfucking Capitol riots and participating in the assaults and all of that. Timothy Hale Cusinelli, this is actually somebody who wore like a Nazi type like, you know what I mean, a Hitler mustache and haircut, and you know, often was saying like pro-Nazi type shit, anti-black, you know, and you know what I mean, anti-Semitic shit. So this is somebody that is allowed to still be white and, you know, maintain his security clearance, and still has not even had anything stripped of him, regardless of his participation in what is said to be treason. You know what I mean? So that just shows you how deep white privilege goes. Green Wall and Graduation. What other New World Order Bishop Grady let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Minneapolis, Minnesota, you got the lawyers for Derek Charvin, cop killer, the Minneapolis police that actually was filmed kneeling on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes. This dude, the lawyers for this dude are actually saying that they're asking the judge to delay the trial and actually move it out of Hennepin County, one of the most diverse counties in Minnesota. Now, why are they doing this? I wonder. Maybe they're trying to move to a place where there's more likely to be a bunch of racists, because it's crazy. The jury selection has continued. It continued yesterday, and you still have like it's 9 jurors so far. You got 5 of them are white, 2 are black. There's 1 multiracial, 1 Hispanic. So it's like, I mean, what else could you be trying to move it for? I mean, keep in mind, one of the lawyers did cite that that the decision of the Minneapolis City Council last week to grant $27 million as a settlement to the George Floyd family to settle a wrongful death lawsuit. They called it incredibly prejudicial. So maybe that, or it just seems like a strategy, you know what I mean, trying to get Derek Charvin, the killer cop, off of these murder and manslaughter charges that he's on. We'll see how this turns out, y'all. Stay tuned, man. Rest in power, George Floyd. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over there in Georgia, you got voting rights activists that have been lobbying these companies like Coca-Cola, Home Depot, other Georgia-based companies that's while successful, basically trying to get them to put pressure on these Republican legislatures to oppose these voter suppression laws that they've been coming up with. The state legislatures, mostly Republican, even just last week they passed a bill that eliminated the use of being able to cast absentee ballots without an excuse, and also a tougher voter ID restriction. So it's like, you know what I mean, what's the whole aim of it? You got Stacey Abrams down there. She called it a redux of Jim Crow in a suit and tie. You know what I'm saying? Like, but basically, if you're not trying to get as many people voting as possible that actually live in, help this country work efficiently, then what are you really trying to do? Are you being pro-democratic? Are you even pro-American? You know, Green Wall and Graduation. Report of the New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So you got Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, black man, you know what I mean? They actually have going on their first overseas trip. They met with their counterparts today in Japan, and they headed out next to South Korea. So they basically out there, you know, checking people's temperatures, you know what I mean? Trying to see who on their side, who not, and all of that, or whatever. Trying to establish themselves as a power against China's growing power. You know what I mean? Like, it's really a security measure, or at least it's widely looked at like that. You know what I'm saying? It's all chess moves. You know, there's probably other shit going on. So, but nevertheless, it's interesting though now how looking at China as the opposition, like as the ops for real. All this made in China shit we got around us, whatever. I guess Trump really did get the ball rolling with that though. So you know what I mean? And here come the Biden train. Green War and graduation, though. This report out of the New World, though. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report, man. So you got very interesting news. Like, you got the Vatican actually saying that it will not be blessing same-sex marriages, saying that it can not bless sin. You know what I mean? Like, and this is crazy because well, first off, it radically goes against what Pope Francis, the Pope now, where he was saying, where he was talking about, he thinks same-sex marriages should be allowed, civil unions. And back in 2013, he had said, you know what I mean, if a person is gay, who am I to judge, like, basically. And that's how it kind of like changed the course of where the Catholic Church as a whole was like standing on that. But I guess the Vatican shut that shit down. You know, I just found it very interesting. You got LGBTQ communities that are like condemning the Vatican, saying it's a drastic step backward and all of that. But it's like, why would y'all want to be a part of a community or religion that thinks your lifestyle is sin? You know what I mean? What is there to even bash? Just be like, all right, well, you know what I mean? It was cool while I lasted. I'm moving on, type shit. Like, why wouldn't it be that? And at the same time, you even have a lot of priests or pastors that is out here fondling little boys. So you mean to tell me y'all okay with old ass men, you know what I'm saying, trying to fuck on little Peters and little Jakes and all of that shit, but y'all not okay with some of these grown ass men marrying other grown ass men? Like, that shit is just crazy to me. But nevertheless, that's where that shit stand. I think it's crazy to point the finger. Like, I feel like they all going to hell, like the Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really got questions about people who remain in the Catholic Church after all of these scandals with the Catholic Church involving sex trafficking and all of that shit. So, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe the niggas is just the last real niggas alive or something like that. Like y'all motherfuckers' morals is just twisted, man. Green War and graduation, though. Report of the New World, though. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So you had a bunch of indigenous land and water protectors that actually had led a few different types of like actions and organizings and demonstrations against the construction of this pipeline is built by Enbridge called Line 3. So the Enbridge's Line 3 pipeline construction that's supposed to be bringing tar sand oils from Canada into the United States. So it's an agreement between the U.S. and Canada on that front. And you know, you have a lot of people protesting it because it's going to bring it's going to endanger the nearby ecosystems, like, you know what I mean, rivers, lakes, and also wild rice beds. So you even had Jane Fonda out there. Now, this is an award-winning actress, you know what I'm saying, who used to be banging back in the day, you know what I'm saying, like, and probably still is if you into that or whatever. But Jane Fonda, you know, she was out there in Minnesota talking about how, like, you know, she saw driving on the highway, she saw what they were gonna do to the headwaters of the Mississippi. Enbridge is a foreign company, and you know, they want to bring in tar sands oils from Canada, the worst, you know. So we're here to try to stop it. So let you know what happened. Green War and graduation, you know the shit. Report out of the world, though. The Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/music. Actually, check out the latest and the greatest coming from Black Fox News, the Graduation Party subsidiary. You also got my albums on there and more music on there to come. Definitely check out the homepage as well, where we actually have options for you to not only donate, but you can also purchase things that are worth your while, and just subscribe to our many channels. But again, we're gonna get into this this news, though. You got the newly formed Union of Musicians and Allied Workers that actually held protests all around the world at offices of Spotify, basically protesting their refusal to increase the pay rate that they're giving to these artists per stream. You know what I'm saying? So right now, you're talking about one of the biggest streaming platforms in the world. They paying $0.0038 per stream, and you know, some people feel like they got enough room to go up to a penny per stream, but they're not raising it for a motherfucking thing right now, and it's causing a protest. You actually had a musician in Toronto, Jatensha, actually speaking out there, saying how, like, you know what I mean, we you know, y'all make too much money to be paying us $0.004 per stream. You know what I mean? We know you have the income. You know what I mean? We know the shareholders have the income. We got the receipts. You know what I mean? Basically, so I don't know. Spotify, part of me, like, what is it? What is it going to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It seemed like y'all not sharing, because they made all of this money during the pandemic. They've actually tripled in value, and you still paying artists the same thing when it's the artist that's actually even getting y'all and us mentally through the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? It's something to think about, y'all. If you ain't thinking about it yet, that's a problem by itself. Green War and graduation, though.